Hi, I'm Tamara and welcome to my YouTube channel. Today, I'm going to talk to you about borderline personality disorder and some things that you can do to start the healing process. So my first recommendation is that whatever you do to help yourself, take baby steps. Everybody wants healing overnight, and that sets you up for failure because you might be more tempted to give up quicker. But this is a process, and praise yourself each day for the little steps that you are able to take. Now that does mean that you are going to have to push yourself a little bit sometimes. You may even have to push through some things that feel really painful, but that's okay. It's part of the healing process. So I'm going to give you a few things today. You can choose one thing or two things. This disorder can wear you out and really drive you into a state of fatigue and tiredness because it's a lot of work to maintain feeling okay with so many things happening in your mind. What I want you to try doing is every day, I want you to take, I would say 30 minutes. If that's too long for you, start with 5 minutes. Create some alone time for yourself. Now that could be a little scary for some people, but we want to build your stamina. Find a quiet place at home. You can get some things to comfort yourself. You can get a blanket, you can make yourself a cup of tea and just sit. So if you start doing that for 2-3 weeks and you start feeling comfortable with that, add a couple of minutes because you want to practice self-soothing intrinsically instead of it always having to be extrinsically, which means that I'm looking for other people or things to always solve my problems and how I feel. You might try dimming the lights, play around with the lights, or open up the shades on your window. If this makes you feel anxious, then you might want to practice saying some things to yourself while you're sitting there like, I'm okay, I can handle this, I am in control. Because the truth is, you are safe and you are okay. And you just have to retrain your mind and your body to know that it's okay. So over time, this can help some of that anxiety to start subsiding. The second thing is, even though many borderlines may not be totally in touch with their feelings, in some ways you have become a ball of feelings. Even if you can't sort those feelings out, it's the feelings that are taking control of everything. These particular exercises are dialectical behavioral therapy techniques. You have to realize that you have a heightened sense of feeling anger towards people. And just like you make mistakes, so do other people. And so you might want to give them a bit of a break. You might want to take a look at how many people you're feeling angry at right now, or how often you're angry at someone. Do you always find somebody at work that you're mad at or that you're angry at? Then it might be something that you need to work on because you're taking slights or maybe small things that they're saying. Some of these exercises are to help you to regulate your emotions. So this exercise is designed to have you change your emotions by acting in an opposite way to those emotions. So it's kind of counterintuitive, but it's an exercise. So let's talk about anger first. If you notice that sometimes you might feel angry at people, or you might feel like raging or yelling at someone. So the next time that happens, I want you to carefully and gently avoid the person that you're feeling angry with, because your natural reaction is to attack the person with your words. And so we're going to do the opposite. You're going to give them some space. You're going to move away from them. And instead of thinking about them constantly or thinking of what they said or what they did and getting yourself worked up, every time you think about them, I want you to put them out of your mind and avoid thinking about them. Do something nice rather than attacking them. And something nice could be as simple as hello, or saying hi, Or if they drop something, pick it up for them. Just do a simple, kind gesture. And something that helps me when I feel really angry at someone is try having empathy or sympathy for the person. Realize that by thinking about something the person has gone through that must be really tough for them, or maybe something that happened in their past that was hard for them, and have compassion for that person. Now let's talk about fears. Do you have a lot of fears? One of my favorite books is Feel the Fear and Do It Anyway. So that's what you're gonna do in the fear exercise. You're gonna feel the fear and you're gonna do it over and over and over again. You're going to do something that you're afraid of. What do we normally do when we're afraid of something? We usually run from it. But this time, I want you to approach it. So think about a person, a place, a thing, a task, an activity, and I want you to try doing something to give yourself a sense of control over the situation, or like you can conquer it. So when you start to feel very overwhelmed by your fears, make a list of small steps or tasks that you can do relating to this fear, and then do the first thing on the list. Then another emotion that you may experience is guilt or shame. For example, let's say you scream at a person at a restaurant, and then later when you calm down, you feel guilty, you feel bad. It's like, why did I do that? Why did I say that? It's like the regret after the fact. You might feel guilt because you want to be a better mom. Maybe you've yelled at a coworker, or you've yelled at your parents, or your kid, or your mate, or your neighbor. So instead of staying in that place of shame, do something about it. I want you to try to repair it. And you're going to repair it from a place of sincerity. So you want to tell the person that you're sorry and apologize. Own up to your mistake. Do something to make things better. Do something nice for the person that you offended. Now, maybe it was maybe you'll never see the person again because it was a random person that you yelled at. Well, pick someone else to do something nice for. And then I want you to commit to avoiding making that mistake again in the future. Now, let's say you do make the mistake in the future. None of us are perfect. Forgive yourself, start again, and really try. And accept your consequences. If you screamed at someone and they say, I don't want to talk to you right now. Okay, I'm going to give that person their space instead of, well, I'm just going to fight with you even more because now I'm mad. No, accept the consequence, give them their space. Remember, this is practice, this is pushing through, and then let it go. Remember, the key here for every exercise is approach, don't avoid. You might also want to talk to somebody that you really trust to help you with these exercises or give you a little insights if there's something that you're not quite understanding, or if you need an idea or a little help with something that you can do. And finally, let's talk about sadness and depression. So what is depression? What is sadness? Depression can mean it's difficult to get out of bed. What do we do when we feel anxious and we feel sad because we don't want to deal with the feeling of sadness? Sometimes we try to run from it. We try to cover it up with something else by even doing some bad habit like drinking too much. You don't want to avoid it in this exercise. You want to approach it. That means you're going to go towards what it is that you're afraid of, which is facing the sadness. So you want to get active. You want to approach, not avoid. Walk towards it, not run away. Do some things that make you feel competent and self-confident instead of sitting around and catching the blues. Remember, you want to do things to practice calming your mind and relaxing yourself. So you might want to do some things that are kind for yourself, like go get your nails done every 2 weeks, go get a massage, get a pedicure, or do things that are kind to yourself instead of always beating yourself up, because I think sometimes you can actually be quite hard on yourself. Instead of sitting around in your house feeling sad, why not take a 10-minute walk or a 15-minute walk? If you're not comfortable walking around outside, you can walk outside and look at the birds and the trees and the flowers and the grass blades blowing, the breeze. So I hope this helped someone out there. Please share it with other people who you feel that it can be beneficial or helpful to. Thank you so much for watching. Please give me a thumbs up, hit the subscribe button, and I will see you on the next video. Bye!